episode of Fun with Wood. I am extremely fortunate to live where I do for the 2 years that I'm going to live here. One reason is because just up the road this direction is Winters, California, where Al Calderon and Art Guitars is situated. Great teacher on acoustic guitar building. It's literally it's 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away, depending on which part of Winters is on fire at the moment. And that's great. But the other reason that I'm quite blessed to be where I'm at is because if I go that direction about an hour and 15 minutes or so, that's where Luthier's Mercantile is located, LMI, and they had an open house last weekend, which I had that much time to enjoy because of some other pressing duty that I had to do. So literally I drove an hour and 15 minutes there. I spent 35 minutes at their open house and I drove back. And I wish I could have been there all day long. The few people that I spoke with, very friendly, very helpful, and I told them, what the hell am I looking at here? Because their open house is one, so that you can see everything that's there, but two is they have a sale on what they call offcuts and end pieces and things that don't fit their standards, which is great for me because one of the hills that I'm climbing is that you can give me 5 pieces of wood and I look at them and I go, that's shiny wood, that's not shiny wood, and that's got a bunch of holes in it, and that one doesn't, and that one smells good. So one of the first things that I was able to get was their old LMI catalog. The guy said it was probably 4 years old. The prices weren't current, but here's the really cool thing. Let's see if we can see this from up here. It tells you about the wood, and then it shows you about the wood. Cocobolo rosewood, East Indian rosewood, Koa. It shows you all of these different woods and what a good example piece, a representative piece of that can be. That is worth its weight in gold to a guy like me. And they had a pallet 3 feet tall, filled with them. This was almost worth the trip itself. The other thing they have is these offcuts, these end pieces, these scraps that they sell, and it's basically in this one giant room just filled with wood pieces. It's $5 a pound. So whatever wood pieces you want, you put them in I got a big box right here, and when you're done, you walk up to the guy and they have a scale, and you just put the stuff on the scale, and he goes, 9 pounds, 45 bucks. Which is, again, great for me because I can get some pieces of many different types of wood that I don't really know what they are, or I do know what they are and I don't want to buy a really nice piece of it to experiment on, as we're doing in the other Fun with Wood project. So that's what I did, and then I picked up one priced set, and I'll kind of show you what the dealio is there. So now what I'm going to show you is, with tax out the door, what I got at LMI for what I think was the extremely reasonable price of like 88 bucks plus gas. And I'll naphtha the stuff up so you can kind of see the grain on it. If you see something and you go, oh, I know what that is, shoot me a message. because some of this stuff, the 35 minutes that I was there, when I walked in, there were already 25 people there, and I walked in there like a minute after 10. And by the time I was walking out the door, there were gobs of people there. And like I said, I wish I could have stayed all day long and just asked these questions, but it didn't work out. Maybe next year. But I won't be here in August of next year. So, all right, so let's look at what we got in the big goodie box. All right, first up, because you know how I am about safety, this was in the free pile. Dust masks. So if you're coming over to look at what's going on here in the garage, I've got a dust mask for you. Little tiny kerfing strips, mahogany, triangular, reverse kerf. Because I have some guitars that are missing some small pieces of kerfing. And kerfing's not that expensive, but this doesn't weigh anything. And so, there we go. A bunch of kerfing. Also in the category of doesn't weigh anything were some little binding strips. Again, you know, I'm not going to bind a whole guitar out of this, but for practicing how to do stuff, how to bend stuff, try to figure out what it is, I think it's great. Same thing with this sound hole strips for the rosette. They're got a green stripe running through them. I'm not going to be able to do, would never be able to do a whole guitar, but you know what? I can practice bending and looking how the construction is done. And all of this didn't weigh squat. So that's almost like getting something free. Now for all these pieces of wood, this is just stuff that was, I mean, it's unbelievable. There are huge stacks of these things laying around. And again, everything that's out there is there for a reason. Because there's a big booger, a big crack right there that they've circled. And for their purposes, this is not going to work. But for someone who doesn't know anything, to be able to put their hands on a piece of wood and to start listening for tones and looking for things that may or may not make a piece of wood usable, and trying to identify pieces of wood, man, it was great. There's another piece. These look like East Indian rosewood. Trying to match up what is in their catalog with the wood pieces that I got. These look very similar. Sound cool. Pinhole there. It's like a little bug hole there. These are end cuts off of big guitar sides. These look like they're for bridges. This, I don't know if this was for a, it's got a split here. It's also got another split working on right there. Cool piece of black wood. I don't know, ebony, maybe? I don't know. I did pick up 2 fretboard blanks. They have obvious problems, big crack there, and lots of little bug holes in them. But you know what? I've never had a raw fretboard before, and they're really thick. They're really dense. That one doesn't have a ring to it. Not like this one does. I don't know. Could it be, is that the crack? Is that why it does it? I don't know. So these are cool. This, I really like. I don't know if it's big enough to do anything with. It's a piece of what I think is flame maple. It's just a big solid billet, big solid chunk. And when you get her naphthed up, I mean, it just looks so cool. And you can see it, the flame on the side, on the back as well. And it just looks fantastic. I mean, that's a flat piece of wood, but with a finish on it, when you start looking at it, it just looks like it's all wrinkled. So I don't know, is that flamed maple? Is that a quilt? I don't think it's a quilt. I think it's a flame. If you know different, let me know, because I don't. I picked up 4 of these, ooh, coffee. Picked up 4 of these guitar sides. I'm not sure if this is the same wood. These look similar, at least these two look very similar. And this one, I don't know. It looks really nice. Is it sapele or sapile or sapile? I don't know. How many different ways can you use a sound for an E in the same word? Nice and dark. If for nothing else, at some point I'll need practice in bending sides. I don't know. Again, $5 a pound. How much do you think 4 guitar sides weigh? Not very much. And then I got this. I don't know what it was. The dude standing next to me didn't know what it was, and the dude standing next to him didn't know what it was. But it is a big, solid piece of wood. This probably doubled my cost. Got a really nice red color, a beautiful wavy pattern to it. This end, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's the bark. I don't know if it's a crotch. It's really cool. And if nothing else, I'm gonna polish all the sides of it and make it the coolest paperweight you ever saw. This end has really got some really cool kind of figure to it as well. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, just a big billet chunk of wood, and they had a pallet with big billet chunks of wood. All right, we're back. I got 2 pieces of this. This is not I don't think this is off the same piece of wood. It's ugly. Big ugly saw marks in the side of it. But this is what I believe to be Western red cedar. It's just super nice red color. And I know this isn't, you're not going to be able to make anything out of this. But it's nice to have. It's nice to be able to try to figure out what it is. And again, at $5 a pound, how much do you think that weighs? Not much at all. I did get a couple of quote-unquote what I thought were scores. This one was, now this was actually priced. This was in, they have one room that is the $5 a pound offcuts thing, and then they have a second room where they have stuff that is marked down for various reasons. This is a back and sides of African mahogany. Which one of those three it is, I don't know. Is it Sapele? Is it, here, let's see, there's 3 different kinds they listed here under African mahogany. It could be Kea, it could be Sapele, or Sapele, I don't know how you say that, or Sippo. That's what they list under African mahogany. And I know why this one was either returned or didn't go out. When they bent this, there is it's like a divot right here. It's nice and straight, it bends over, and then there's a divot right there. And then, I don't know if you can see that or not, it's warped there on the end. This side is okay. This side is not. This is bent for a dreadnought, for the LMI dreadnought size. So I can see why that would have been returned. But that also came with this really nice book match set of African mahogany. Which variety it is, I don't know. But man, ain't that pretty. That just makes gorgeous. Polished and shined, that'd be super nice. Is that probably worth 40 bucks? I don't know. Everything that I do is not just the intrinsic value of what the piece is, but putting a price on how much I can learn from it. Can I learn from this and that? Yeah, you bet your behind me I can. And now, what I think is my big, I did my happy dance when I kind of found this. This is what I think to be a bear claw spruce top. Now I'm not quite sure why it was in that hole in the we're not going to sell it stack. I don't know. It is hear that? I've looked and I've looked and I've looked and I just can't. I don't know why. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad it was in the $5 a pound stack. And we'll see. See this? What I think to be bear claw figuring in it. I don't know. Is there something, I don't know, is it not stiff enough? Is it too stiff? I don't know, but if I look in their handy dandy price guide that's 4 years old, Sitka spruce bear claw tops, if it's a double A, which is their lower rating, they're $52 a pop. Was this worth $5 a pound? Yeah. Especially if I screw up the top to the Lazarus. Because that could still happen, folks. And if it does, then we now have a backup plan. We've now got a possibly bear claw spruce top, in case I screw that up, because it's all just one big train wreck. So yeah, that was like I said, $88 out the door. I could have gotten in so much trouble there. They had some really cool stuff, but again, I got a budget I'm working with. I got $46 left this month with my $88 there, with my with the new book that I bought. My wife found me on eBay for $14. The Bogdanovich classic book. So we'll see. Anyways, LMI, thanks for the open house. I wish I could have stayed for hot dogs and soda, but I couldn't. And it was really great to be there, and hopefully we'll get to do it again sometime. So yeah, if you see anything there and it strikes you as you know exactly what that is, shoot me a line, put it in the comments, and let me know, because it's all, you know, it's all uphill. And now back to work. Thanks. Subscribe, like, comment. Cheers.